Time to do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da. Time to do some sketchy shit. Oh, the live long day.
Play your favorites all weekend long. This is what we wanted. We're 100.1 Jack FM.
I'm Ringer, and this is my prospecting journal. Come on, let's go prospecting. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ringer's Prospecting Journal. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. I want to give a special shout out to all the men and women of the armed forces who are serving overseas. Hopefully you can all come home safely to spend more time with your families. God bless you guys all. We appreciate everything that you do. And without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do these activities that we do now. So it's just a couple days away from Christmas, and this is unusual weather for northern Wisconsin. This is the first time that I can ever remember where we didn't have snow. Don't plan on having any snow for Christmas. It is kind of chilly this morning, but we're going to be checking out a new spot out in Harrison Hills. Harrison Hills is located about 12 miles or so east of where I live, so I came out here to check it out. This is a location I found while rifle hunting this year, scouting out an area to find some stand locations, and I came across this interesting creek. So we're going to get packed up, take our gear down to the creek, and see if there's any gold in it. Stay tuned, folks. So before I haul my gear down there, take a walk down the trail. Now this is an old cross-country ski trail. I don't know when the last time it's ever been used. Maybe it does when it's winter out. Walk down the hill. And we come to the creek. Yeah, it looks like I'll have to try to build a dam. Find a good spot to set up. When I was checking it out during rifle season, there is some gravel bars just downstream there. surrounded by beautiful hills here. It was up in that direction where I was sitting for rifle hunting this year. Didn't see anything. A lot of deer sign though. But yeah, I'm gonna go back up and grab the gear and find a place to set up. Maybe there, maybe possibly down there a little bit farther. All right, we made it down into the creek. A lot of beautiful gravels in this area. As I started the video, I grabbed my splitting maul. I see some deer tracks. Just in case this creek was iced over. We haven't had any snow, or very little, and it all melted. But it has been cold, so I didn't know what to expect when I came down here. So I grabbed the splitting maul just in case I had to punch through the ice. All right, so I got my first bucket classified down to 1/4 inch. Running a mini sluice, 6-inch mini sluice with miner's moss. So I decided to bring the miner's moss since I am just testing this creek. I want to try to maximize my capture rate using a miner's moss. See if there's any gold here. It's not the best setup that I have right now, but you can tell there's really not a lot for big boulders in the area to build up the dam, so I'm going to have to use my tailings from classifying to build up the area. So I only got 1 bucket, so I can only classify 1 bucket at a time, and then use the rocks to build up the dam as I go. So it's working. It's not ideal yet. It will get better as the day goes on when I get more rocks from the tailings and build that up a little bit. Yeah, let's take a look at the action here. I had to put a bucket of water on top of the sluice to hold it in place. Kept on floating on me. Like I said, there's not any big rocks I can use to hold it down. I'll throw a scoop on there. Like I said, it flows pretty good until you get to the end and it kind of builds up, but it does eventually flush off. So it's going to be slow going. I need to increase the pitch and increase the water flow speed a little bit, but the velocity of the water. But I think it'll work for now. So let me get this bucket running. We'll continue on. One of the key indicators for gold is black sand, and we do have plenty of that. So hopefully we got some gold in this material. So top couple inches of the gravel bars are frozen. So I'm digging along the edges, and then once I get down along the edges, I'm digging underneath the gravel bars to get the material underneath the ice or frozen ground. So we'll see if we have any luck with that. I am going to try a couple different locations along this stretch here of the creek, and I'm just going to do the buckshot approach and try different locations, hopefully to find gold, or at least prove that there's gold in this creek. So one of the nice things about prospecting, you get out in nature. Look at this, we're in December. There's no snow on the ground, which is weird for northern Wisconsin, but it's a beautiful day. And there's not a better hobby where you can get out and enjoy nature and recover something that probably hasn't been seen by human eyes ever before. It's just really, really cool. And I want to encourage folks to get out and try this hobby. I mean, it's becoming more and more popular, especially with the price of gold keeps rising. Last time I checked, it was a couple months ago, it was like around $1,800 an ounce. It was over $2,000 an ounce for a bit there. But it's not about the money value. It's just about enjoying nature, getting away from it all, finding peace for yourself. And you know, you get a little bit of exercise doing this. I'm not in the greatest shape in the world, folks. I'm 53 years old. I'm overweight, but I enjoy this hobby. And the more I do this, I can tell that you know, my health is getting better. Being out in the fresh air, not cooped up in the house, scrolling through the channels on TV, playing around on my phone, although I'm using a phone to record, but there's just nothing like this. And I encourage everybody to, you know, try this hobby out. When you first start out, yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit, like $400 or $500 to get all the equipment and stuff like that, just the basic equipment, but it's worth it. And you know, if you're living in some areas where you can do this year round, so much the better. I mean, there's gold all over the place. Some places better than others, but you just have to go out there and find it. So that's my word of wisdom for today. And I hope to see more of you guys and gals out here on the creeks enjoy this beautiful hobby. All right, I got my first bucket of material ran. This box is working pretty good. Like I said, it builds up there at the end for a little bit and then eventually flushes out. So the next spot I'm going to dig is going to be right underneath that tree. As the water comes off, you can see that dark area in the creek. That's the line of cobbles. So it's coming around the bend and hitting right underneath that tree. So I'm going to try a few shovelfuls along that bank there and see if we can get some gold out underneath there. And just to give you an idea about the frozen ground, anything out of the water is pretty much frozen solid. You see the ice shelf there. So first pail I did, I dug out underneath it. A big chunk of that actually broke off. But yeah, everything above the ground is pretty much frozen in the water. Water temperature isn't that bad. I mean, it's cold. Hand turns red, but overall not too bad. It's not like ice cold. It's tolerable, especially with the warm temperatures out today. Your hands aren't freezing after they get wet. So yeah, I'm getting ready to start my third bucket. This was from right underneath that tree and along the edge. I did find some clay in that area, which is one of the things you want to look for, especially in Wisconsin. But yeah, it's a gorgeous day out and very hilly country. A lot of wildlife out here. It's beautiful. All right, we're 3 buckets in. Do a little cleanup to see if our efforts are going to pay off or not. Hopefully we'll find a little bit of gold. Remember, this is northern Wisconsin. We have very, very tiny particles of gold here, flower gold if you will. Especially in this area here, you're not going to get the high spec count per pan when you're panning for gold. That's why we run sluice boxes, so we can run more material. If you hit a good spot or a really, really good spot, you might get, you know, 15, 20 little tiny specks in a pan. For the most part, you know, you're lucky if you get 10 specks per 5-gallon bucket. So it's all hit and miss. That's why really you don't see me test panning, because you know the area that I test pan, I might not see any gold in the pan, but 6 inches, 7 inches to the left of that, you know, you find, you know, 10 pieces. So it's all hit and miss. So don't do a lot of test panning out here. We just read the cricks, look for the gravel bars, and we run material and see what we get. So you got the green bucket here. That's what I'm going to be doing the cleanup in. And hopefully I can do this without the sluice box walking away on me, floating away. One of the things I like about miner's moss, you can run a lot of material. You know, theoretically I could run 9 buckets and this thing would still be running just fine, perfect. It doesn't fill up or overburden itself like a lot of mats out there. There's a lot of nooks and crannies for the gold to get down into and get captured. So instead of running the miner's moss, Get some fresh water in the bucket here. Again, the water isn't that cold. And you just slide the mat out. Kind of roll it up and slide it out into the bucket. Do a little rinse. Take your mat. Take it out, let all the material that got captured in the mat fall out into the bucket, and you got a relatively clean mat. Now we'll set this back in there flat, and we're ready to keep on running. Now, silly me, only brought one gold pan with me, and I got my new XP pan here. I should have brought another pan to pan off into, but I'll pan off into this 5-gallon pail. That way I'm not going to lose any material. And we'll just pour this into here. I don't know if you can see that too well from way over there, but that's all the material I have left from the miner's moss. Dump that into the pan, clean it out. So overall, material wise, got a lot of light material in here. Hopefully we'll have some decent black sand. Get a good stratification on there. A lot of light material. I don't know, it's not looking too good. Already starting to see some black sands starting to show up. Like I said, I am by no means an expert panner. That's why I pan off into a bucket or another catch pan, and we'll see if we have any gold. And we do. Not huge flakes. Just doing a quick pull back here. So I'm looking at, yeah, not too bad. Spec count wise, 3 5-gallon pails. I'm looking at I don't know, about 30 pieces of gold in this pan. So we're hitting a decent spot. Again, it's really tiny stuff, nothing really chunky. But overall, not too bad. I'm going to pan the rest of this down. Really nice about the XP pan. You got the bigger riffles, and off to the side you got some smaller riffles to really get your material down to practically nothing. And we'll get this all shaken back up into the top, tap it, and then pan it back. Yep, looks like they even have a shotgun pellet. You know you're finding gold when you find shotgun pellets. See if I can get a video of the gold in the pan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and it all comes down through here. Huh. I have to take a closer look at that one. May or may not. I'm thinking that's probably a rock. But then, that's a shotgun pellet, so you're doing good. We'll keep running material. All right, so we got our 4th bucket ran. Looking at the time, we got time for run one more pail through the sluice. We'll do a final cleanup. Then we got to head back to the homestead. Got some things going on. So I'm gonna be throwing a turkey in the smoker a little bit later on. So we got some things to do. So yeah, we'll get one more bucket ran and see where it goes from there. Well, there you have it, folks. We got ourselves a little bit of Christmas gold. How about that? So I did that last cleanup. I did 2 5-gallon pails. Did a concentrated effort with that one. I took all the material from the same spot, which was the front end of that gravel bar I was working. Cleaned it out, panned it out, and had about 15 pieces of gold in it in 2 5-gallon pails. So overall, I think today was a success. Scouting out the creek, trying it. Just found this creek this past fall during rifle season, and it does have gold in it. That's one of the things we found out. And learned that I'm going to have to come back and do a little bit more exploring. We have gold there, so I think I'll be back in this location again. And remember, folks, to like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment and click the bell icon to receive notification on future videos. Until next time, God bless everybody. Merry Christmas.